Hi friends, I am Harshal Nikam. Welcome on your channel Salesforce tutorial. In this video, I demonstrate you how to create a custom field in Salesforce Lightning. Before starting video, I share you my YouTube channel. You can search Salesforce tutorial on YouTube. You can watch various Salesforce related video on this channel. In my previous video, I create some custom object. So this is our custom objects. Now we create a custom fields in there. I click on this student detail and I click on new. So this is a totally empty. Now we create a field inside the student detail and they will be shown in there. So I click on this setup button. I click on the setup. Now I am click on object manager and I search in quick find box student detail. I click on it. This is a student detail object. Now I create fields in there. I click on the field and relationship button. Now I click on new. So I create in first name, last name, middle name like that. So this is a custom field. Page is open now, and this is a data type like a auto number, formula, lookup, master, external, checkbox, currency data, email, number, percentage like that. So first we create a first name in student details. So I click on the text, click on next. I give the label name like a first name. Uh, Enter length, first name length like choose 30. Is there have the required, if the first name is required, so you select required. If you checkbox is select unique, so you can be selected. External ID, say set the field unique record identifier from the external system, so you check it. So I didn't check it. I didn't select it. So this is default value. If you are enter some of the default values, so you can be write it. But I'm not writing it, so I click on the next and you check it if system administration is right, so you go to the next, then I click on save. So our first name is field is created. Now similarly we create a middle name and a last name, so I click on text, then next, label name is middle name, length is 30. It's depend upon you. I'm not select the required button and unique button. I click on next. Again I click on next, then save. So our middle name is also created. Now I create another one is last name. So again I select a text, click on next, give the label name is last name. Again I select the length is 40. Now I click on the next. Now if the visibility of this system administration is right, so click on next. Again I click on save. Now we create another fields like of this mobile number, so I select phone, I click on next. So the field label is mobile number, field name is mobile number. There also option is required, so I'm not selected, and I click on next. Visibility is System administration is click. So next, click on save. Now I create a email ID. So data type is email. So I click on email, select next, field name is email. If you want a required, so you check it. If you want unique, if you want external ID, so you can also check it. I select on next. I click on next. Then another I check it. System administration is click, so I click on next. Then I click on save and new. Now we create date of birth. So we select date and click on next and give the field label name is date of birth. I click on next. Check the visibility. System administration is right. So I click on next. Click on save. Our email and the date of birth is also created. Now another I click on next. Whenever you can be create a address, that time you select a text area. So the field label is address. Now I click on next. I didn't want required this address, so I check again. System administration is click, so I click on next. Then I click on save and new. Now I create a gender. So I want a pick list because gender is 2 3 type like of the male, female, transgender. So I select a pick list field. So I give the name, label name is gender. I select enter value, each value separate by a new line. I enter in there male, female, transgender, and unknown. Now I click on next. Check system administration is right. So click on next. Click on save. Now I create tuition fee. So I select the data type is currency. Next, I give the name is tuition fee. Click on the next. Now I click on next. Click on next. Now I want a website in student detail object. So I click on next. I click on URL. And I click on next. So I give my URL name is whatever you can do. I give the website. I click on next. Again I check it. System administration is visible. So I click on the next. I click on save. I want another pick list like of student address like a city, state, country. So I select, I click on next and I select a pick list. I use the name of this country and I select the enter value. The country name is India, Japan, America. Okay. I select on next. I select on next and save it. Similarly, now I create stat field in there. So I select again pick list. I click on the next. Give the field label name is state. If you don't know the state name, so you click on this tab and you search state name India. So you got some state names like of the Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Bihar. So I select some of the state in there. First one is Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Maharashtra. Now I select some of the state of the Japan like of the Aichi, Akita and Chiba. Now I another put some. Now I put the state name America in this pick list. Umbala, Alamba, Alaska, and Arizona. And I'm save it. Click on next. Check this system administration is right. So I click on next and save it. Now this type we can be create all the fields in there. Now we can be check in this or the student detail object. So I click on the refresh button. Now I click on the new. So student detail field page is created now. This is all the custom field we are created. I put my information in there. Date of birth you can be select. Address in Nagpur. Gender is male. Tuition fees 25,000. Website is country is India. So I select the state is Andhra Pradesh and I click on the save. So this time we can be create custom fields and one record in there. So this is record and this one is all our custom fields. Similarly, we can be create all the custom fields in staff detail and student mark sheet. So in the student detail, I click on the new. There is no one field present in there, so we create a staff detail fields. So I click on the setup button. I click on the setup and I click on the object manager. And in quick find box, I search staff detail. I click on the staff detail button. I click on the field and relationship. I click on the new button. And similarly, we can create also a first name, middle name, and last name. So I click the data type is text. Click on the next and give the label name is first name. Length is enter 30 and I require this field. Click on the next. Check the visibility system administration is right. So I click on the next. I click on the save button. Now we create a middle name. So I click on the text. Click on the next button. Label name is middle name. Length is 30. I'm not select the required and unique checkbox. I click on the next. If you want to select, so you can select it. So system administration visibility is right. So I click on the next. I click on the save button. Now I want the last name field. So I click on the new and data type select is text. I click on the next button. I enter the label field label name is last name. I enter the length is 30 and I click on the next. Check the visibility system administration is right. So I click on the next. Click on the save button. Now first name, last name and middle name is created. Now I want a gender field in there. So I click on the new. Then I select a pick list data type in there. Now I click on the pick list data type and I click on the next. And I give the field label name is gender. I select on the enter value, each value separated by new line. So male, female, transgender and unknown. Select on next. Now the visibility is system administration is right. So I click on the next. Now I select on next, save. Now I click on the next. I want a date of joining in staff detail field. So I want a, so I select a date data type. I click on the next and I give the label of the field label is date of joining. I click on the next. Check the visibility of system administration is right. So I click on the next. I click on the save. Now I want mobile number field in this tab detail. I click on next. I select the data type is phone. I click on the next, and the field label name is mobile number. If you want to require the phone number, so you click on the required field and I click on the next, but I didn't want it, so I not select it. Check the visibility of system administration is right, so I click on the next, click on the save. Now I want a job profile field in the staff detail, so I click on the new and I select the pick list data type and I click on the next. I give the field label name is job profile. I click on the enter value and I put some of these job profiles like principal, HOD, senior teacher, teacher, PUN. I click on next. I check the system administration is right, so I click on the next, click on the same. This time we can be create all the fields in the staff detail. So I going on this staff detail of object. I click on the refresh button it and I click on the new, click on the new. Now I put the information in staff detail, entering some information there. Then that is email, date of joining, whatever you can be selected. Mobile number, the profile is teacher, click on this here. Now this time we create a one record in it, staff detail. So this is a record. So this is all the fields create in this staff detail. Similarly, we can be create also student mark sheet. So I click on the new. There is not a single field created in there, so we can be created some fields in there. So I click on this button setup and click on the object manager, search student mark sheet. I click on the student mark sheet object, and so in the student mark sheet we want some of these student marks in there, so we need some subject. So I select on the new and I select the number because we want only a student marks. So I enter in field label of the subject name Marathi and I enter the length of the 3. If you want to select the required unique and external ID and AI prediction, so you can be selected. I click on next. Now you check the system administration is right, so I click on next, click on the save. Similarly, you can be create a different of the subjects. So I click on the data type is next. So I click on the data type is number, then next, and I enter the English. Length is 3. Click on the next. Check system administration. Click on the next. Click on the save button. Click on the new. Click on the data type is number. Then click on the next. Enter the label name. I give the name is Hindi. Label is length is 3. Select on next. I click on the next button. I select on save. I click on the new. I select the data type is number and I click on the next. Now I give the field label name is math. Length is I enter 3. I click on the next. Check the system administration is click. Then click on next and click on save. I click on new. I click on the number data type and I click on the next and I enter the field label name is physics. The length is I enter 3. I click on the next. Click on the next and save it. Click on the next. Click on the new. Select the data type is number. Click on the new. Enter the field label is chemistry. I enter the length is 3. Click on the new. Click on the next. Click on the next. Click on the next and save it. And another click on the new button. Select the data type is also number. Click on the next and use the field label name is biology. Select the field label name is biology. I enter the length is 3. Click on the next. Check system administration is right and click on the next. Click on the save button. Now this time we can be create all the fields. Now we can be check it or the application. I click on the app launcher and search. My application name is student management system and I click on the student management system. Now my application open now and this is our the student mark sheet object. I click on this student mark sheet. I click on this new. This type all the subjects are visible in there. Marathi, English, Hindi, Math, Physics, Chemistry, Biology, History and Geography. I entering the marks in there. 38, 70, Hindi, Physics, Biology, History, Geography. Click on this. This time we can be a create a one record in it. I click on the student mark sheet. Now I will be show all the subject marks in there. So I click on this recent view button. Click on all. Click on this setup and I click on this select field to display. Now I select the fields and I click on this add button. I click on another one, subject is English. Similarly, I click on the history. Similarly, I click on the all the subjects, Marathi, math, physics, and you can be also select whatever you can be want at the right side, owner's name like that. Click on the save button. Now the all the marks are visible in there.